You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode take 2. We'll try that again. Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode 84. Man, we're getting up there. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, and by the way, I cannot, Sai is not in the chat room that I can see, but if he was, my God, he would never let me live that down.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm sure. Tonight's opening question is, looking at your list of things you're excited for in 2018, are you mostly going to be watching action, drama, comedy, or suspense? We'll start with Kris.
Action, comedy.
Drama or suspense?
I think it's a drama suspense combo.
Gotcha.
I think.
Is that what you normally find that you watch mostly, or is it kind of, it's just this list in particular tends to be heavily?
No, I think it's just this list.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope
Cool.
so. God. That's funny because I thought I was.
Jay, what is your list leaning towards mostly? Action, drama, comedy, or suspense?
Oh, action mostly.
Okay. I was telling our special guest this evening, my former partner from my day job, you know, when I'm not here doing stuff on the show, Kim Bassett. I was telling her that, yeah, there's some things on my list that are, I had to move around a little bit just because I wanted a little more variety instead of just being like all movies or whatever. But, yeah, so I'm actually going to have to look at my list here and kind of relook at it. But speaking of Kim, how does your list fall? What are you mostly looking for? Action, drama, comedy, or suspense?
I think majority of it is comedic, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say maybe like 70% of it, looking at my numbers. Very heavily on sequels.
Can y'all see why we worked well together? 70%. We like the numbers. Just a quick glance. I don't know why I said that. Just a quick glance at my list. Yeah, it's mostly action stuff. So, with that said, so 2 weeks ago, our previous episode, we talked about the things that we enjoyed most in 2017. I thought it would be a good time to take a look forward at 2018 and talk about the stuff that we're excited for. Now, I did say media, so it can be anything, whether it be TV, books, movies, video games, whatever. I found it easier with to find movies, and that's just because like they have to like really fight for the weekends. So like you kind of have an idea of the movies coming out even all the way to the fall. TV, not as much. Books, man, books are hard to figure out. Like it only seems like unless it's a super big writer, like 6 months is about as far ahead as I can kind of find. And video games, unfortunately, are kind of the same way. They tend to like kind of keep falling backwards. So, if a lot of our lists are kind of movie centric, that may be why, but we'll see once we get started here. With that said, this did not have to be ranked. You didn't have to do like 1 to number 10. I just wanted like your top 10 things. With that being said, would anyone like to share the first thing that they're interested, they can't wait to see in 2018?
I'll go.
All right, Kris, what's the first thing that you're interested in seeing in 2018?
Well, again, this is in no particular order, but the first thing I thought was Infinity War.
Yep, on my list.
So, but it's mostly because of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see how that meshes in together.
Mm-hmm.
want to see how they do that. So that's what I'm most interested about.
Yeah.
Movie. Yeah. And it comes out
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
I just hope they're in it more than just very briefly, like we kind of got in the trailer, because I know that would be a little disappointing for you, but
oh yeah, it would be a huge piss off if it's just like, hey, we're here, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I'd be super mad.
Luckily, they would probably at least have a bigger role in part 2, but it's like, well, crap, part 2 doesn't come out for like, what, 2 years or something like that? That's a long time to wait.
Yes. Unless it makes sense.
True.
I have to see it. Just why it's on my list.
But that was like I said, we didn't have to rank these like, 1 to 10 or whatever, but if I were ranking things 1 to 10, this would probably be my number 1. I'm so stoked to see this movie. I love these big action get together movies in the Marvel universe. So that was my number 1. That would have been my number 1 if we were, like I said, going to rank them. So, you know what? We'll just continue on with the order we started at the beginning of the show. Jay, what's something that you are dying to see in 2018?
Deadpool 2.
That was mine.
It's on Ray's list.
Yeah, that's high up there. That has to be, Infinity Wars would be my 1 if we ranked them. Deadpool's probably got to be 2. I guess I love the first one, and I don't care where it's at. If it comes on the TV, if I'm just doing something, I turn it on. Even if I'm not paying attention, if it's on TV, it's usually on if I'm doing stuff around the house.
Right. It's just very well done. It is just an awesome movie. My wife actually said she wouldn't mind watching it with me. We haven't done so yet, but because I know she's going to think it's hilarious because it's so fucking funny. So, and the trailer for it was great. The whole Bob Ross ripoff thing was hilarious. I love the fact that they do stuff like that because if you remember when the first one came out, it came out either on Valentine's Day or around Valentine's Day, and they were originally like portraying it as an actual love movie.
Yeah,
because I think the tagline was something like Deadpool, like love never dies or something like that. And Ryan Reynolds is like, oh, every woman is gonna fucking hate me after this. But oh well, you're gonna go see my movie. Kim, what's something on your list that you can't wait to see in the coming year?
So you know me, and I love coding movies and such. Soundtrack to the life. So Super Troopers 2 is supposed to come out. So it's not really the most mature of movies, but I am kind of excited to see where that one goes.
Yep, on April 20th.
Yeah, so I figured like birthday weekend, hey.
There you go. I'm gonna have to admit something here. I've never actually seen Super Troopers.
You were a fucking disappointment, my friend.
I know. I knew I was gonna get that, especially from you, man. And looking at Kim's face, it looks like I greatly disappointed her as well.
Well, there was that. Monsters 2 you hadn't seen, or Monsters Inc. 2, Monsters University you never saw. I'm like, how do you not see it? It's so good. So we sat down and had him watch it, man. But I can't, it's not safe for work.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, we really can't do that one. That would be a little difficult.
Oh no. Well, there's many quotable moments in this movie.
I have seen parts of it. I have just never sat down and watched the whole thing, but I guess I need to add it to my to-do list.
Yeah, you need to put that a little high on there.
Okay.
It's literally just like an hour and a half of your time, and it's a good hour and a half.
Yeah, lots of laughter. It's not a serious movie, but
oh, I know that. Especially from Chris's face.
I watched it and didn't like it, so I don't know if I'm ranking lower or higher than you on that one, Eugene. Ray and my sister thought it was freaking hilarious, but I was just like, I couldn't.
And you know what? That's fine. There are those movies that some people find hilarious and other people just like don't like. I fucking love. What is it? It's Kung Pao. Enter the Foot. That is. when I first watched, I sat there, and it's that part where the baby's rolling down the hill and stops, and the woman goes up and picks up the baby and is like, "Oh, what a cute baby!" and then walks over to the other side and lets the baby keep rolling. That's when I knew I was in for it. And oh my God, I laughed so hard. My wife thinks it's the absolute stupidest thing ever made. But yeah, so no, I understand. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely have to try to go back and check that one out. I will say I have been trying to go back and catch up on some things. Like I really want to see Blade Runner 2049. Mm-hmm. So last weekend I went ahead and watched the original Blade Runner because I'd never seen it. So I am trying to make an active commitment to go back and watch a few things. So so Avengers was on my list. The next one I'm going to throw out there is a TV show, and I do plan on going back and catching up and rewatching everything of Game of Thrones. But honestly, HBO, that's not what I'm excited from HBO for, is Game of Thrones. I'm excited from HBO to be getting the next season of Westworld.
Yes.
Love that show.
Oh, so good.
Yes. I have not watched that yet.
Oh my God, it's
so good.
It's amazing. It comes out. It's sometime in the spring, April maybe. Yep.
Yeah. Like one of the actresses apparently dropped. It was supposed to be April, and they're like, you weren't supposed to say that yet."
Evan Rachel Wood on her Twitter, I think, said that, or Instagram or something, was like, yeah, in the spring. She hashtagged spring. And
what's funny is I had actually seen the original movie. For some reason, it came up, and I decided to watch it. I may have even done a review for it on the old site. And I liked it. It was an interesting idea, but seeing the way that they've really delved into it and seeing especially where it left off, like, yes. I can't wait to see where we're going. Like this almost seemed like the entire season was almost like a prelude to what's really going to happen. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to see the next season of Westworld. So, all right, Kris, we're back around to you.
So that was on my list. So the second one will be a TV show. It's Roseanne, the reboot. It comes out in March on ABC. Me and my sister, we love this show. She has all 9 seasons on DVD and is rewatching them again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like we can't help ourselves. It's total nostalgia, whether you like it or not. Like we were very. She didn't know it was coming out, so when I told her that, she's like, "Oh my God!" It's like, "Yeah, we have to watch it." So,
and it looks okay. Up front, I'm not a fan of Roseanne. My wife loves that show, so she's excited for it to come back as well. And I have to say, it looks like they've gotten at least most, if not all, of the original cast back.
All of the cast, most of them. Obviously, Colin Quinn, obviously he passed away in 2005, but yeah, they have both Beckys back. It's interesting how they're going to do that. Dan's back. I don't know how they're going to do that because he died at the end of the.
I know, and that's what I was telling Christy. I'm interested to see how much of the series they end up retconning.
Yeah, so if they're going to do like an X-Men prequel and just pretend the other ones didn't happen and just rewrite it all. But yeah, and I love Laurie Metcalf. I'm a huge Laurie Metcalf fan, so excited to see what it does.
Well, good deal. I mean, there are a lot of other TV shows that have come back, and I mean, some of them have done okay, but like some of them actually, the fans picked right back up on it and just ran with it.
And it's on trend right now to do that. It's like TV land is in this big nostalgia mode. So, yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be really interesting.
All right, Jay, what's next on your list?
I am going to go with Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom.
It almost made my top 10 list. It was definitely on my honorable mention.
Well, the last Jurassic World was... I actually didn't watch it till it came out on, I think, HBO. Then I finally gave in and watched it. And I really liked it. I mean, it was a lot better than what I thought it'd be because Jurassic Park 3 was kind of, to me, was a letdown compared to the first or second one. But this one looks really good.
I'm in the same boat. I actually went and watched this. I watched the last one in the theater. It was very pleasantly surprised. Like I really enjoyed it. And part of me is a little, I don't want to say worried, just kind of like, wow, it seems like they're kind of giving away a lot of the big plot in the trailer, but then part of me thinks, well, what if like all the stuff that we see in the trailer literally just happens like within the first third of the movie? Like, what if there's a lot more? In which case, I'm really excited about that being the case.
Yeah,
So,
and hopefully that's so. I'm hoping it's not a trailer that just gave away all the good shit like normal.
yes, because they tend to do that sometimes. So, but yeah, that was on my honorable mention. So, Kim, what's the next one on your list?
Incredibles 2.
Yes.
Over mine.
I'm so excited, and I want to see like if because I'm sure Jack, he'll always be the baby, but like it'll just be so awesome. So I just love those that family, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
That is still one of my favorite Pixar movies. Probably one of my favorite animated movies. Hands down, the best Fantastic Four movie ever made. Because honestly, that's what we should be getting out of if we got a movie that was half as good as The Incredibles and a Marvel version Fantastic Four, I would be ecstatic. Yeah, when they announced that, I was kind of interested how they were going to go. I thought for sure, especially with like what they did with Toy Story and stuff, that maybe like they were going to let time pass and like, the kids were going to be older or whatever, but it sounds like they're picking up pretty close to after the first movie. So, and I'm okay with that too.
And you just kind of hope that they do it well, because when you love that first movie and then they have a crappy sequel that comes back, and Cars 2, for example, but yeah, so I really hope that it's good, because I really love the first one and all the kids like it too. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely in the same boat there. By the way, did you ever see Cars 3?
Yes.
Did
Tell
you
me
like
you
it?
saw it. You saw it, right?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay. Yes, I loved it. I was like,
it was so good.
Small racer, and she's funny because she's like bubbly, kind of like me. And yeah, no, it was great. Stan and I, we all loved it, and of course, we got hit in the fields when they touch on age.
Yes.
And yeah, but no, it was really good. I loved it.
It totally redeemed that series for me. I mean, I still love the first one. You're right. That second movie was not good. And then the third one was great. So
yes. And of course, it kind of rebooted even all of their cars and stuff, which my kids love. And yeah, so, and I just loved that they had a strong female lead in it. And I was like, yes, you can be a racer if you want to.
Yep.
More than just Danica Patrick, but hey.
All right. My next one, I feel like some of these are going to be on y'all's list, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this one out there. I loved the book. I know the movie is not going to be anything really like the book. It's going to be kind of vaguely like the book, but not. But that being said, I'm still really excited for Ready Player One.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Like I said, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as good as the book, and I just adore the book. But I can't help it. It also doesn't hurt the fact that someone from the 501st contacted me and said, "Hey, a bunch of the cosplay groups are wanting to try to get together with the Alamo Drafthouse and maybe do something for the premiere of the movie." And of course, we need the Ghostbusters there. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we may have to try to work that out." So I may get to go meet the author again. We'll see, which would be flipping awesome. But yeah. Even that aside, I'm really excited for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all this craziness that I love thrown in together, and I can't help it. Kind of goes back to the whole Avengers thing. It's like, let's just throw everything in together and make it awesome. So, all right, Kris, what's your next one on your list?
I'm excited for the Winter Olympics that start in February, and we don't have cable, so our coverage it'll always be a bit behind. We have to watch it online, but I mean, this is Canada does the best in the Winter Olympics. So, and now with Russia not being able to compete as a country, the rest of us might have a chance. Decent medal count, but I'm excited for that because it's the only time I actually sit down and pay attention to hockey because we're always usually in the gold medal round. And, you become an expert. Suddenly you become an expert that you don't know any in a sport. You don't know anything about it, but so you're like, oh, see, she's going to get points off that. And that wasn't, that form wasn't good. Like for me, it's figure skating. I get really judgy, even though I don't know anything.
Christy really gets into the figure skating too.
Yeah, that and then the bobsled and the skeleton.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it freaks me out that somebody would get on that and go
yes.
first. People die.
That's part of the allure, right?
No, that's just
if I can make it out the bottom.
Yeah. If I make it, that's a win. But I just love how close the margins are now. Like it's hundredths of a tenth of seconds.
Yeah.
Because if they all just went down at once, it would all look like they crossed at the same time. But
pretty much, yeah.
That. And then when the snowboarders and skiers wipe out, I like that too. But it starts on February 9th.
Oh yeah, it's pretty close. I know it's just around the corner here. NBC has been broadcasting a lot about it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Which country is it in?
Oh no.
It's a good question. I don't know either.
I don't remember. I should have wrote
South
it.
Korea.
South Korea. Thank you.
Ah, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I love the Olympics.
All right, Jay, what's next on your list?
Pacific Rim Uprising.
Once again, didn't quite make my top 10, but definitely on my honorable mentions because I loved that first movie.
Yeah, that first movie was, whenever the first trailer hit, whenever it originally came out, I thought it looked good, but I wasn't that excited to see it. And then, I was like, yeah, I got to give it a view. And then whenever I did, I love that fucking movie. It was much better than what I planned, so.
Yeah.
I'm definitely willing to give this a shot, so. I'm just, it was kind of upsetting that, Charlie Hunnam couldn't come back for his role, but, it'll be interesting to see what they do with John Boyega's character, and,
yeah.
The Asian girl from the first one is coming back for this one as well, I believe, so. Just seeing what they do with her, going from one movie to the next.
Yeah. Man, that first movie, it pretty much had me at, there were just two things. It's like Guillermo del Toro. All right, cool. Kind of already on board there. Giant monsters fighting giant robots. All right, done. So, but yeah, no, like I said, didn't quite make my top 10, but it was definitely on something I'm excited to go see. So,
well, pretty much all mine are straight movies. So,
oh, that's cool.
My top 10 are a little bit more
rounded out.
Yeah, it's just straightforward.
Gotcha. Kim, what's your next one?
So I think marketing got me on this one, but I kind of want to check out that show, The Alienist. It looks pretty good.
What is that about? I've seen it advertised.
It's kind of like turn of the century. It has like Dakota Fanning and
Luke Evans is in it, isn't he?
Yeah, and it seems like it's kind of like a mystery in a way, but it's such a good, well-rounded cast that it looks interesting. It's something different. So that's kind of like the non-comedy thing I had, really. Because, as we have to wait for Stranger Things and Game of Thrones, which are so awesome, and y'all got me even sucked into This Is Us, which is on the other spectrum.
I can't do This Is Us. It makes me cry every single time.
Yes!
Christy cries every time, too, but she loves it.
Every time that stupid show is on, I cry. Ray's like, what are you watching? That's beautiful.
It's yes, and I'm just like, I know we know what happens, and we're gonna find out why. And it just every episode they give you that little bit more, and I'm just like,
I can't.
Yeah. And I become a mess as well, and so on the mushy side, yeah. So that's why this one seemed kind of good. Aside from Westworld, that's also kind of outside from what I normally watch, but
gotcha.
Yeah, so. Can't remember what channel it's on. I'll have to research it. But it doesn't
NBC.
Okay, there we go.
But I don't know when it comes on because she watches it on Hulu the day after. So
I think that's where I saw the commercials was while I was trying to binge watch This Is Us on Hulu. So it's either that or like purchasing this new double Tide Pod. You know, the same commercial every time.
Yes. They really do need to work on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like I said, I'm kind of jumping around my list here. The next one movie I'm throwing out there is a movie that literally has just been announced. There's literally just like one screenshot, maybe two screenshots of the movie. That's it. Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yes.
I
On my list.
adore that first movie. I will put that movie on even if the boys aren't watching it. I freaking love Wreck-It Ralph, and I can't wait to see what they end up doing with it.
Yeah, that's on Ray's list too. He had Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
My
identifies with Ralph. Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He can break things. He identifies. And plus, he liked all the throwback videos because he used to play all those video games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they had some good characters that showed up in there. That whole scene where he's doing the support group is just
that's so so funny.
And one of my brother's favorite lines of all time is still that just because you're a bad guy doesn't make you bad guy.
Is it true?
It is.
Such an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So yeah, I had to throw that one out there. I know it doesn't come out until this fall, and like I said, we basically just got like 2 screenshots of the movie, but I can't wait. So
It'll be worth it.
Yep. All right, Kris, what's next on your list?
I have so this is on Netflix. It's the Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, so they're coming out with a second season?
Yeah. Yes, and they haven't said when, but it's coming out. They did a teaser trailer. It's only like 20 seconds, but they haven't said. So Ray tried to watch it. He thought it was okay. I love it. And I was trying to explain to him why. It's because it's not scary. I like that it's not scary. It doesn't freak me out. I can't watch The Walking Dead or World War Z or any of that stuff. It just gives me nightmares. It creeps me out. It's not fun to watch. This is hilarious. And it's unexpected because they're just this suburban family. And oh yeah, she's a zombie and she has to kill and eat people. But we're normal.
Christy watched it. Like I halfway thought maybe we'd watch it together. Like by the time I think I asked her if she'd be interested in watching it, she had already finished it. She's like, "Oh no, it was great. I watched it." I'm like, "Well, damn, okay."
10 episodes, or whatever, but it's coming back, and I'm very excited.
Very cool.
Yes.
I have to. I don't know if she knows that they're making a second season. I have to definitely tell her after the show.
But they haven't said when, so
okay. Jay, what's next on your list?
All right, so I'm looking forward to Han Solo.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's fucking Star Wars.
Anything else? It's fucking Star Wars.
I mean that's reason enough, but I'm kind of interested since the arc. They seem pretty dedicated to making some kind of prequels for these iconic characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about doing Boba Fett. They've talked about doing Yoda. I mean, so I am interested to see where they take it. And I mean, it's fucking Star Wars. You can't fail.
Yeah. When's it coming out?
This year.
Oh, it comes out. Yeah, it's not too far off. It's like
I think
beginning of summer. I think.
Yeah, I want to say May. I thought it was May. I can't remember. I'm old and forgetful, so
Because you're a grandpa, that's all.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to look it up right now. May 25th is when it's supposed to drop.
Really? No, I didn't think it was soon.
Oh,
yeah, it's not.
In the fall?
Yeah, no, it's dropping in summer. So I'll be honest with you. I'm a little, I don't know. I know because I know they've had to go back and reshoot a bunch of stuff, and that's been an interest, with the whole director shakeup. That being said, that's actually one of the reasons I'm kind of interested in it. Number one is Donald Glover because I freaking love him, and seeing him as Lando, I think is perfect casting.
Oh, that is, yes.
And I didn't know this. Ron Howard was originally going to go to look at Ron Howard to direct one of the prequels. Before Lucas decided he was going to direct them all, he was going to tap Ron Howard to do one. And I want to see this movie, if nothing else, for the fact that I want to see what a Ron Howard Star Wars movie looks like. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he has some experience with space, you know.
Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, once again, not on my top 10, but definitely was on my honorable mention. So, Kim, what's next on your list?
I have Fantastic Beasts 2.
Oh, me too. Yes.
Because it's magical and awesome.
Never
and
watched
I
the
really
first one.
Well, comes out the day before my birthday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I've never watched the Harry Potter either, so.
Yeah, we know, Jay.
My dad wanted to watch the first one today. We were trying to figure out what to watch today because he came up and visit, and he's like trying to figure out Netflix because he doesn't know how to use it. He's like, "So we're on here," and I'm like, "We have all of them, Dad. Which one do you want to watch?" And he's thinking, he's like, "Do you have that new one?" I'm like, "Fantastic Beasts." He's like, "Yeah, let's watch that one."
I haven't seen it. I've seen all the Harry Potter movies. I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts. I do want to see it. So
it's good. It's really good. I mean, if you don't want to see, you don't have to see any of the Harry Potter stuff to enjoy.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts. So
yeah, it's still magical and awesome. Yeah. And you know, where's my Hogwarts admission ticket? Like, it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's back around to me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish out my movies. And the last movie I had on my Big 10 list actually comes out next month. Black Panther. I can't wait to see Black Panther.
That's on my list too.
I loved what little bit we got of him in Civil War, and just what they've shown, this idea of, you know, oh, he's from an African country, and it turns out to be the most advanced civilization on the freaking planet. Mm-hmm. But the fighting, the style looks good. I mean, he seems like, you know, a perfect fit for what we need in the MCU. So yeah, I'm completely down. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, so Black Panther was definitely on my list. All right, Kris, what's she got?
I'm interested to see X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Does that come out this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
November 2nd.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yes, November 2nd. And it's a lot of the original cast from Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. And it sounds like they're going to go back to more of the Dark Phoenix comic book stuff. So they're in space, and because the Phoenix is an alien that takes over Jean Grey's body. So it sounds like they're going to go more in that direction instead of what they did in The Last Stand of X-Men 3, that terrible one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that because Jean Grey is one of my favorite X-Men characters. I love Evan Peters as Quicksilver, and he's going to be in this movie. I like the casting for the younger X-Men, and this one takes place in 1992, and they go on a mission in space, and they get a solar flare gets them or something, and Jean Grey sort of loses control of her powers, and that's how the Phoenix comes about. That's what the snippet said.
What you just told me makes me interested, because I was like, I don't know if I really want to see any more X-Men, still see what Marvel does to it. That actually sounds interesting, though.
Yeah, it looked really, it sounds really, really interesting. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What you got? What else you got for us, Jay?
Okay, so my next one is actually Aquaman. And it's solely due to Justice League was actually a lot better than what I would end up expecting.
Yes, I agree.
Aquaman's character, Jason Momoa, is pretty badass in that fucking movie. So I'm actually kind of interested. I really liked, Superman versus Batman. So I really enjoyed that movie, Justice League. So I'm interested to see where they take this and each of the individual little movies for each of the characters they plan on doing. I mean, loved Wonder Woman, so.
I agree. I know the movie didn't make anywhere near what they wanted it to, but I'm like you. I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed Justice League, and I really do want to see where they ended up going with it. So I will probably go to the theater and see Aquaman just because I think they did a good job with the character, and I don't want this series to die. I want to see what they can, possibly do with it. So good call. Kim, what's next on your list?
Creed 2. I like a good boxing movie.
I haven't seen Creed, and I've heard it's wonderful.
Great.
I haven't watched it either yet.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
I mean, you get kind of worried, because Rocky's, whole series and everything, and you can only go so much with it. But I think how well they tied the two together was really good, and it was like a decent storyline. It wasn't just, I just need to win. Blah, blah. No, it was actually really good. So, I'm hoping, because the cast is really good too, so I'm hoping the second one is as good, because I do love those kind of like against all odds type movies, and hopefully sometimes you get a great score out of it, which then becomes the soundtrack as you're walking down hallways and stuff. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited for that one.
Nice. I have at least one other movie, but it's on my honorable mentions. The other 4 things that I had listed on my list were TV shows and video games. And TV shows, the first one I'm going to bring up is, like I said, so I'm trying to go back and watch some stuff, and I just watched Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. I'm hoping maybe this weekend I get to watch, the new one that just came out. But Philip K. Dick has a series hitting Amazon called Electric Dreams, and it's an anthology series where it's basically just a bunch of his short stories that they're adapting, in this future apocalyptic type world or whatever. And after seeing Blade Runner, I'm like really interested in it. I mean, everyone has talked really, really highly of his writing forever. So seeing that come to the screen, plus I didn't put it on my list, but I started watching Black Mirror season 4. I'm 2 episodes in, and I'm loving these anthology type shows. So seeing an anthology type show set in that future dystopia type thing, I'm really kind of excited to see it. I really want to kind of see what happens. So, which, by the way, Black Mirror season 4, episode 1, USS Callister. Damn.
There's talk of maybe making it a spinoff because they left it so open-ended, right?
I heard that too. And you know what? I would watch that. I would watch that show.
Yeah, it looks interesting. This season has been the best one. This is my favorite one so far.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in, like I said, but yeah, I'm excited. So
yeah.
I couldn't believe that second episode was. I kept watching. I kept thinking, man, this is really well done. This is really well done. And when the credits roll, it's like, oh, Jodie Foster did it.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why the directing was definitely a couple of steps up. So
yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
So, all right. What's the next one on your list, Kris?
Well, I only have one more that hasn't been mentioned. Everything else has been. So it's Blue Planet 2, which is a BBC documentary about the ocean.
Oh, okay.
It's narrated by David Attenborough. I could listen to that man talk about anything. He's just got this really calming English husky voice, and I just feel safe when he talks. I just feel like it's going to be okay. It'll be all right. And I really like watching nature documentaries, so definitely want to watch. It came out today, actually, on BBC America, so I'm hoping that I can find it somewhere and watch it, because I've watched Planet Earth 1 and 2. I've watched Blue Planet, so this one will be good. And I like playing it in the background with the kids, hoping they'll like learn something,
absorb some stuff.
Osmosis, because Logan today, she's like, I hate documentaries. I'm like, really, kiddo? Like,
you're just not watching the right ones.
Well, we watch different ones, but I like the nature ones because I'm like, this might be the only time my children see this type of animal in real time, right? Like this might be the only opportunity they get. So yeah, I like that too. But that's one I really, really want to watch.
Very cool.
Especially when it's in 4K, because it's like you're in the ocean.
See, that's the type of thing when I would actually want to like really be like, man, I really wish I had like a higher end TV and set up, those type of nature. Right. That's where having a higher end system definitely, is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jay, what's next on your list?
My next one is Venom.
Oh, they had that one too.
I keep forgetting that comes out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think October 5th.
Yeah, he said it was because Ray said it was because Tom Hardy's playing Venom.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hardy is badass pretty much in everything he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, as much shit as he got for the voice of Bane, I loved the character Bane in that movie.
I did too.
And I mean, just him having that, I don't know, that voice, it wasn't like a big grumbling, just, I don't know, like super intimidating sounding voice. It's just, just.
I thought he was intimidating because, I mean, yeah, he was yoked all out, but the fact that his voice was very intelligent and he was clearly, I'm going to beat the hell out of you, but I'm also smarter and more. I'm just better than you are, and just all around, and that was scary. Yeah,
and I mean, he was great in that movie, and I'm just interested to see, because last time they tried to do Venom was so piss fucking poor.
Yes.
Or face.
Yeah, and I think that was part of his downfall of his career was that was so fucking terrible, and I mean,
yeah, no, it's bad.
I love the Venom character from the comic books and the old Spider-Man cartoon back in the day, and
yep.
I mean, it's just a great
villain,
a great character.
Yeah, it's an awesome character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they just did such a bad disservice to it. I mean,
fantastic.
I like most of the Spider-Man stuff they did.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really hoping that they do this one some justice.
Real quick, Born Distracted's asking in the chat, have you seen Frozen Planet?
Yeah, I think I might have started watching Frozen Planet. Sometimes it's hard to know which one is which.
Right. Well, it does kind of cover, there's like, it's Planet Earth. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes, and different documentaries go over the same landscapes. Yeah. So it's hard to, but it is on Netflix. So I'm pretty sure I've watched an episode or two of Frozen Planet.
Good deal.
That'd be a firm no from me.
No, no for Jay.
What's next on your list, Kim?
Mary Poppins Returns. I love Emily Blunt, so gotta have a musical in there, which is exciting. So
good deal.
I'm looking forward to that one. I
think Emily Blunt will do a really good job. I think she'll do Poppins.
Yeah, because she was good Into the Woods, and plus she's actually pretty funny too. So
yeah, she is. Yeah, she's a wonderful singer too. She's got a beautiful voice.
Yes, I totally agree.
Good deal. The next thing I had on my list is another TV show. It's called Altered Carbon.
Saw that.
It's a Netflix show. Basically, what it's about is in the future, you're able to, if you die, they're basically able to download your memory into another body. Of course, that causes some mental stress and everything else. And so you have to go see a psychiatrist and everything else. The thing is, though, I think he's either the richest man in the world or he's one of the richest men in the world, dies. And when he comes back in this body, he lost like the last 15 minutes of his previous life. And he's like, that should not be the case. Why did I lose the last 15 minutes? What happened to me? And so he hires this, I think he's ex-military or something. He hires this ex-military guy to basically find out and investigate what happened in the last 15 minutes of my previous life. Because I'm supposed to know that, and I don't. And obviously something important happened or someone's covering up something, and I need to know this. And I'm like, that sounds like especially some of the sci-fi books and stuff I've been reading. I'm like, that sounds really interesting. I really want to check into this. So, Netflix hitting it out of the park again, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking my husband, because when you were talking about that, he was, in that audio book binge, And he was reading something about that where it's like you die, but you have a copy that's done, but each one has a little tweak or twerk in it. I was trying to figure out if that was based off the. Is it?
It is based off of a book. I don't know what the name of the book is, but it is based off of a book. So I may have to look it up real quick and let you know. So, all right, Kris, do you have any more in your top 10, or are you?
No, but I have Ray's list. If I can read it.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I have Ray's list. I don't know why any of these. He just gave me a list. So for Netflix, there's this TV show he really wants to watch. My Next Guest with David Letterman. So that comes out.
I've heard good things about that.
Yes. Wants to watch that because I think the first guest is Barack Obama. I think
it is. He
had Black Panther on there. He's also interested in Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider movie with Brie Larson. No, is it Alicia Vikander that's playing Lara Croft? Cloverfield. Deadpool 2. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep, on my list as well.
Venom.
That was on my.
Yeah, he had Fantastic Beasts, and he also had Wreck-It Ralph too. So that was his list.
Very good.
Yeah,
it's a good list.
I think so. A lot of action, which is pretty
good deal.
Ray.
Good list, Ray. Jay, do you have anything left on your list?
Yeah, I had I had a couple that were on my list and a couple are honorable mentions.
All right, go ahead and read your list, and then we'll come back around to honorable mentions.
All right, so my last two that were actually on my list was actually Rampage.
Yes!
That looks so much better than whenever they said, we're going to make a Rampage movie. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
You are taking the words out of my mouth. Keep going.
And then I watched the trailer, and I was like, holy fucking shit, that looks like King Kong just with fucking a giant wolf and a giant crocodile at it. I mean, I love King Kong movies. I love Godzilla movies. Pacific Rim all fall in that same category. And yeah, I just saw the trailer and I was like, that looks great. So it's one of those movies that looks like you can just go, sit down, enjoy it with some popcorn or whatever, and just turn off your brain and have fun. I mean,
preach. Absolutely. Everything you just, I echo everything you just said. When I first heard about it, I was like, really? And then I watched the trailer and I was like, what is this? This seems interesting. And then it started clicking. I'm like, is this the fucking Rampage movie? Because when I heard The Rock was going to be in it, I was like, oh, well, obviously The Rock's going to turn into the big, gorilla or whatever. And no, the way that they're doing this is so much better. And I really am interested in seeing it. So good pick, sir.
And the last movie I actually had on my list, and I think it's more for nostalgia reasons, but the Predator remake is supposed to be out this year.
I'll definitely give it a shot.
And I mean, being a young boy when that movie came out, and Arnold in the heyday of the '80s, I mean, that was just a great movie. And I mean, I still love that movie and can watch it anytime. And
oh yeah,
the fact that they got the exact same writer and director from the original movie coming back to do it again, yeah, that's what sold it for me. Yep,
I agree. I'm definitely gonna have to go see that too because I love the Predator series. The Alien series has just been okay to me, like nothing. I've been like, I have to go see it, but the Predator movies I've enjoyed. Not maybe so much the Alien vs. Predator, but the Predator movies. So
I think those were great movies, but
they were okay. They definitely weren't as bad, I think, as some people say.
Yeah, they were serviceable. I mean, you could sit down if you're wanting to watch something just to have a little bit of fun, or just turn off your brain again. You could sit down if they're on TV and just enjoy it for a little bit. It's not fucking. It's not the Green Mile. It's not fucking Shakespeare. It's Alien versus Predator.
Yep. To answer your question, the name of the book that it's based off of is also called Altered Carbon. So, you have munchkins there.
Yeah.
It's all good. All right. What else do you have left on your top 10 list there? Kim?
I had Hotel Transylvania 3.
I've never seen the other two.
Killing Eugene.
Should I have? I'm guessing I should have.
I'm going to take this list and I'm going to text it to you.
Okay.
No, also quotable movies like blah, blah, blah. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's that.
Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sicario 2 on the more serious end. I really like Sicario. I mean, it is kind of scary because, you know, we do live in Texas and, you know, in border towns and whatnot. But I had that on my list as I was going through the whole list because I was thinking, what would I actually really want to go pay to see? And I would actually pay to go see that. And then most of the other stuff I had, everyone else had. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I had several that everyone else had too. So the last two things I had on my top 10 list were both games. The new Yoshi game coming out on the Nintendo Switch just graphically looks beautiful. It looks like it's probably gonna be a ton of fun. I showed it to my boys. Unfortunately, it is only 2 players, so we may have to have some fighting over the controller on that one. But that looks really fun coming out. And then literally all we got was just like a screenshot of the logo. But they announced Metroid Prime 4 coming out for the Switch sometime this year. I loved that series back in the day, and to be able to get it on the Switch, I'm extremely excited. So, yeah, it's just those 2 games right there. As long as they're halfway decent, I'll be happy with the games for the rest of the year. So, with that said, there's I'm sure some of us probably have some honorable mentions we'd like to throw out there. Kris, did you have any honorable mentions you wanted to throw out, or you got everything out there?
Got everything.
Okay. Jay, any honorable mentions you wanted to throw out?
Yeah, one of them actually is getting ready, or just came out, that Den of Thieves movie with Gerard Butler. I think looks pretty good. I'd really like to go watch that if I get a chance on my day off. But The Equalizer 2 with Denzel Washington.
I didn't see the first one. Was it any good?
It's so good.
Oh, yes,
Really?
it is fucking good.
When does that one come out?
Oh, I just had that pulled up. Son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be August 3rd.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah, I like
so
the
in
first
summer.
one.
yeah, and I mean, the first one, you know, it's kind of like, oh, it's taken with Denzel Washington, or, you know, kind of set up the same way, you know, an older badass, unexpected badass there. And, you know, it was, but it was so fucking good.
Okay.
So,
I may have to go back and watch the first one then.
oh, yeah. Have you watched John Wick yet?
Eugene.
Are you serious, Eugene?
I've seen them.
I know.
One and
I
two was
know.
good.
I know, and I've heard nothing but good. It's just, it is literally like I said, I was going to try to watch what's it called this weekend, and that was literally like the next thing I'm going to watch. I know I'm a horrible person.
I'm like, who are you?
I'm starting to believe that. Yes,
We don't know you. Not anymore.
you're gravitating that way a lot more.
I'm so sorry. I failed. I'm sorry. Kim, did you have anything on your honorable mentions list?
No, but I have so much more to look forward to. Like, I didn't even know about the Yoshi game. I love Yoshi with the. You know,
Go look at it. It's the whole thing looks like it's like done on like someone's tabletop, and like all the backgrounds are made out of cardboard, and it like literally the theme for the game is like there's 2 paths through every level, and you can choose which path or actually kind of interact and go between the paths. And yeah, whenever we're done here, look for the trailer for Yoshi, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a ton of fun. So, I had 2 more things on my honorable mentions list. One of them is they announced season 2 of the animated Castlevania series on Netflix. Oh my god, I love that series so much. It definitely is influenced by anime, but it is not an anime. And man, it was so good. I freaking loved it. I can't wait to see what they do in the second season. And the second one is the last one I have on my list is also a video game. Oddly enough, a video game for a system that I don't even own. Like, I don't have anything that would play this game. And depending on what is said when this game comes out, I may have to consider getting one of these consoles, and that is Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes. Red Dead Redemption was hands down one of the best games I owned on the Xbox 360. And it was so good. If this sequel is half as good as the first one is, I may have to consider looking at getting a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One of some flavor, just so that I can play it. Because, like I said, I had so much fun, not only in the single player mode, because the single player story was so good and so in depth, but we had so much fun getting together as a group from time to time and either going on missions or just like, sometimes we just be like, I had a rough week. You had a rough week? Let's just roll into town and just just shoot shit up. And it was fun. It was a good way to just blow off steam. And man, it was so good. To me, it was more than just Grand Theft Horse, which is what a lot of people try to say it was, which it wasn't. But anyway.
Oh, we had a blast playing that. That and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yes, those were the games, man. That right there made the 360 worth owning. Just those two games would make it worth owning right there. So, well, that is our main show for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans. Would anyone like to go first? All right, I'll go first. I actually have. Really, Cy? Really? No, I would buy it used. Asshole. Anyway, I actually have two picks for the week. The first one is last weekend. My wife was out, so I thought, I'll catch up on some movies. So, like I said, I watched Blade Runner. The other movie that I watched, which is not normal for me. I don't normally do horror movies, but I'm a fan of Stephen King, and I heard too much good stuff about it to not watch it. And my God, that was a good movie. It is not, there's some places that are somewhat semi jump scare, but it was really more the old school psychological horror type thing. And I really cannot wait to see the second part, because they took the book. The book is huge, but they broke the book into two parts. The first part is them as kids. And then the second part's going to be them as adults coming back to Derry to fight Pennywise. Skarsgård did a great Pennywise. I know a lot of people were kind of worried because even though if you go back and watch that original TV series of it's pretty cheesy, but everyone loved his version of it and of Pennywise. And man, this is very, very well done. The other thing that I had on my picks for the week is my wife and I had a date day today. And of course, Kim just got up and walked off for a second. She says she likes musicals. We went and watched The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, was it good?
It was very good. Now, it only has like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics. It has a 90% for the audience, and I understand why. The music is good. The dancing is awesome. It's fucking Hugh Jackman. Everything that man does is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. But no, it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. Is it completely historically accurate? No. But you're watching a musical about P.T. Barnum. It's going to be loosely based on it. But man, it was... Kim, you just came back. Christy and I went and watched The Greatest Showman tonight. And if you like musicals, you need to go see it. The music's great. The dancing's great. The whole thing was just really, really good. So...
Awesome.
All right, Chris, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
I have a pick. I have a couple of picks. So there's this really great documentary series on Netflix called Rotten, and it's a food documentary. But it's not one of those food documentaries that makes you feel bad about your eating. Well, not so much that. It's not trying to sway your diet, like you need to be vegan or you need to do this or whatever. It's not doing that. What it does is it takes a look behind the food industry. And so there's 6 episodes. The first one is about honey and what goes on with the production, like the mass production of honey, and how a lot of the honey that Americans eat is actually been synthesized with other things. So you're not actually eating honey, and the money behind it. And then the second one's about peanuts and the allergy epidemic that seems to be happening and reasons why. Well, theories why, because they don't really know. Then the third one's about garlic. I did not know that garlic is like $1 billion industry, and it's massive in China.
Really?
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, had no clue. And then the fourth one's about chicken and chicken farming. Again, it's not trying to tell you don't eat chicken or anything. It's just trying to tell you if you're going to eat this, just know where it comes from and what people go through and the money that goes into it. The fifth one's about milk, specifically raw milk, and why it's illegal in many states. I think it's only legal in 11 states to sell raw milk. And then the last one's about cod and the fisheries in North America and the big business that goes on with that. So it's not trying to tell you you should eat a certain diet. It's just trying to tell you, just be choosy or just know where your food's coming from. Just be more aware because there's a lot of money, a lot of legislation. People are losing their jobs. Farms are being burnt down. Livestock's being lost. Like, it's just nuts. It's like mob stuff. It's really cool. It's really, really interesting. It's called Rotten. It's
That
really
sounds good.
neat. Yeah, because I didn't even. Why would China be selling their garlic like illegally in the States? And why is that a big? But it's like $3 billion industry anyway. And then Logan is going to her first overnight field trip for school, so we're helping her pack for that. She leaves on Monday and she's gone until Wednesday, but she's going to an outdoor education center about an hour and a half from where we live. But she's super pumped. She thinks it's going to take her all day tomorrow to pack. And she's very excited. And I'm excited because I went there when I was a kid, and so did my husband. So we both went there when we were kids. We were the same age as she is now. My sister-in-law went there too, and she was Logan's age. So it's just, I'm interested to hear what she thinks about, because we had a great time. So hopefully she's got one too. And that's it, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I scribbled a lot of stuff down. I can't read it anymore.
It's all good.
Yeah, but it's been a really good week.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Kim, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
So, question. I get the pick. What is the pan option?
Something you didn't care for.
Oh. Well, earlier in the week, I was looking through various shows on HBO, and plus it was after the award ceremony, and they're talking about Big Little Lie. So I kind of binge watched that show, and I actually found it pretty interesting. Of course, some of it was a little predictable, and I was like, I bet you this is gonna happen. And at the end, I was like, I knew it. But yeah, so that was really interesting, and for in terms of like media wise, I don't think I really had anything bad going on. Aside from, so a little bit about me. I have 3 kids. They are 8, 5, and now 3. And the 3-year-old, on her birthday, her brother ended up getting the fever, but she didn't know. So that was probably the only buzzkill. But we have the makeup birthday party tomorrow. So, she thinks it's her birthday again. I mean, she's 3 going on 30. So, so yeah, that was pretty much my week.
Gotcha. Jay, got a pick or pan for the week?
Yeah. Well, first off, there's one thing that surprised me is that you didn't have Ready Player One on your honorable mention.
No, I had that on my top 10.
I didn't hear you say that.
Okay, yeah, I had it on my top 10.
Oh, I must have been losing my fucking mind. It's okay.
It's all good.
That's that one. That was it. You missed it.
Yeah, I guess missed it. Oh, okay. But I still haven't finished watching it all, but, I've been catching up on the Punisher series on Netflix, which is, to me, very good. I mean, that's my favorite, Marvel character, period.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is probably the best iteration of the Punisher so far, so I'm really enjoying that. But another movie I guess decided to watch on demand all of a sudden because I was bored and it was my day off was the Belko Experiment.
What is that?
they're all working this big, like, just big office building. And then all of a sudden it goes on lockdown and they're all in there and they're forced to start killing off each other. They're like, you kill 6 people or we're going to kill 12, and no one takes it seriously until they kill one of them. And they're like, now that we have your attention, you have 2 hours to kill 15 people or we're killing 30. And then, it goes from there, and they're like, okay, you're down to so many people. Now you got to kill 30 or we're going to kill 60 of you. And just like seeing people start losing their minds, some people holding it together. And, it was really, I saw the trailer whenever I went and watched Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that looks really fucking good. I mean, it looks really weird. And, there is some, gore factor into it. People are getting killed in the movie. I mean, it was a lot better than I thought it was. It's written by, and directed by James Gunn. So,
oh, okay.
Wow.
So, I mean, or it's at least written by him. I think he directed it as well. And his brother, the one that was in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sean.
Yep, he's in it as well.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And his character is like off the fucking wall.
Mhm.
Like conspiracy theorist type guy. But I mean, yeah, it's a very good movie. A lot better than what even I thought it would be. I thought the trailer looked fun. This is a pretty good movie.
What's it called?
The Belko Experiment.
Belko Experiment. Yeah, I hadn't seen anything for that. That's what I was having to ask about. No clue.
Yeah, it was good.
Very good. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, if you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Music, wherever it is you listen to this show. We do the show every 2 weeks on live on YouTube. If you'd like, please join us there. Subscribe and like the channel. That definitely helps us out. You can also check out our other shows, the Marginally Geeky Show and Epic Rhythm and Brews. Our next episode of the Marginally Geeky Show is scheduled for the first week of February, and it's going to be a doozy. We are reviewing Aziz Ansari's Modern Romance, and just announcing it now, yes, we will be discussing what all is going on with Aziz at this point. So should be an interesting episode. You can also find us on social media at Epically Geeky on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, of course, at the site, epicallygeeky.com. Where can we find you online, Jay?
That one place, Instagram, under 1JRed. You can probably find me on Facebook if you search for me. And that's pretty much about all that I do anymore.
Dude, I understand, man. Kris, we can find at epicallygeeky.com.
Yep.
And, of course, on the Marginally Geeky Show.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find you online, Kim?
Well, I
Anywhere?
have an Instagram. Yeah, I exist
We can't
somewhere on
hear
the
you.
interwebs. Oh, what? Hello? What? What?
Oh, no, she's lost
Am I
audio. She
muted?
can hear us, but we can't hear her.
Oh, this is tragic.
There she is. Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm back? I'm confused.
You're back.
Okay,
I
so I'm
could
back.
hear her the whole time.
Yeah, I could hear her too.
Shut up. No, y'all couldn't.
Yes, we could.
Really? I couldn't hear her. What the
On
hell?
a side note, my phone was doing that earlier where my mom was calling me and I was getting so mad because I was like, why is she ignoring me? I'm clearly talking. I could hear her. And then I looked it up and someone else had the same issue with this new iOS update. So FYI, if you get it, force restart and then you get it back. So that's what I was like, what? I don't. Anyway, you can find me on the Facebooks. Tim Bassett, Instagram at KTim3, and that's about all of my social presence that I know of offhand.
There you go. That's
Besides
more
Google.
than enough. And as always, you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.